It's Matt Wells, former coach, Texas Tech and Utah State, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Joining us now from Spotrac and Front Office Show, it is Keith Smith, kind enough to hang out with us, talking a little NBA. Keith, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Hey, we appreciate it. So there's a little bit of grumpiness going on towards the rest of the league right now here in Salt Lake City. I don't know if you know why, but yeah, the Jazz fan base is a little salty with what's going on, thinking that there might be a little hypocrisy on why we're getting targeted, whereas the rest of the league has been doing this for a long time. Where are you at on all of this?
Yeah, it's a little bit all of it, right? I think anybody, when it's your team being punished, is going to be a little bit defensive. I get why Thunder fans are maybe a little salty about this. Now, their cries are a little, they fall a little bit on deaf ears here, because it's like, really? You need more picks? You need, more guys? Like, what are we doing, with that? And then for the rest of the league, I get it. I think what has happened around the NBA is just people are seemingly bored of what's happening in the league right now and are tired of the tanking stuff. And that has set off this whole firestorm, whether it be fans or media or just, talking heads, whoever it is, as well as some other teams in the league are starting to, really get their ire up about this. And the Jazz are just getting kind of caught in the crosshairs with this.
So kind of wrong place, wrong time here for Utah?
Yeah, a little bit, and let's face it, some of it is of their doing. When you are playing games and you're not putting your main guys back in to close out close games, it's going to raise an eyebrow or two. I 100% get why they're doing it. I have no problem that they're doing it. I think it's just what is done in this league. It's things like this, and I think that's where all right, if the league's going to say, hey, we can't have that. The ones I do feel bad for are the fans, because the fans get no break on this stuff, especially season ticket holders. If you buy a single game ticket now, you should probably know what you're getting yourself into here. But if you're a season ticket holder, I don't remember very many times when somebody sends a note at the end of the year and says, hey, you know what, we weren't really trying to win all that much. Here's a little bit of money back for you. Like, that doesn't really tend to go that way. So I get it from that standpoint. But, yeah, the Jazz are getting, they got their, I would say, more than a wrist slap. $500K is, it's a lot of money. And, now the league is kind of put it on notice of, all right, try it again and see where we go next time.
When you look at this upcoming NBA draft, is this a draft worth the hassle? Is this a draft that you can say, because we keep talking about the comparisons between it and maybe 2003, do you believe that talent is justifying a lot of teams and their willingness to go down this path?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a draft class that is as loaded as we've had in a long time, especially at the top, whether it be Darren Peterson, A.J. Devonta, Kim Boozer. I know people love Caleb Wilson, Kingston Fleming. I could go on, probably another 4 or 5 guys at least. And that is, why I think teams are really trying to line themselves up for, all right, this is it. And in the Jazz case in particular, they've made it kind of clear this is the last year we're doing this, whether it is the words they've kind of said openly or their actions as far as trading for a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr. and committing other future assets. They're in a spot where it is, all right, yeah, we're going to go. Like next year, we're kind of moving, and this is what we're going to be doing. So I fully understand kind of why, they're doing what they're doing and why things are where they are.
Keith Smart, kind enough to join us. Not Keith Smart. I bet you get that every now and then. The old Indiana guy that hit the three to win the national championship.
Yeah, I always say I never won a national title with a jump shot along the baseline, nor did I make the movie Clerks, because the other one I get is Kevin Smith.
Kevin
so,
Smith.
Much to my sadness that I am neither one of those people.
Yeah, Keith Smart. A lot of people. You're probably not popular in Syracuse right now, but other than that, that was a heck of a player.
So hopefully, I am if he's not.
So when you look at where the Jazz are and pulling the trigger on that trade, bringing in Jaren Jackson, just talk about the fit. If in fact Walker Kessler's back in as a restricted free agent, you have him at the 5. You put Jackson at the 4, Laurie at the 3. Ace at the 2, Keontae George at the 1. That's a monstrous lineup. Just how much does that improve who they are defensively?
Yeah, I love it. I think this is, let's fast forward to next October and let's get going, because that is a group that is, there's enough offense there. The defense is phenomenal. I think Walker Kessler covers with the way he rebounds for the things Jaren Jackson Jr. doesn't do well, while Jackson covers for Markkanen and the things he doesn't do well. I think Ace Bailey has really come along here. It's been lost a little in the flash of some others in this rookie class, but I think he's really come along quite well as the year's gone along, and is a good, active, willing defender also. So I think they've got a lot of good stuff there in that starting group. You get some nice young guys who are coming along well, and developing behind them, and they're going to have enough flexibility to add another player or two as well. So I think this was a great move for the Jazz, and I think this is going to be, the kind of move when we look at it a year from now, and we're like, all right, they're right in the mix, here in the playoffs. We're going to be talking about, all right, well, it really started a year ago when they went out and traded for Jaren Jackson Jr.
Keontae George, his step that he's taken, I think, helped the Jazz accelerate the process a little bit, because you get him locked down, and but he'll probably be due for a max, so you have a little bit of a window where he's still on a rookie contract. But overall, talk to me about what you think out of Keontae George and why he's been able to take this step.
Yeah, just really fun, and it's his efficiency that is improved. I think as a rookie, you saw flashes, but everything was a little wild with him in years 1 and 2 a little bit, and then last year it started to come together, and this year it's really come together for him. And I think that's a good sign, especially with young guards. We don't judge them off year one. I use this example with a guy like Rob Dillingham the other day, who just got traded. Is don't give up on these guys yet. It takes guards a while. That is, the hardest spot in the league to learn is, hey, go out there, and all the things you have to do on both ends to kind of spearhead the offense, be the point of attack guy on defense and all that. And I think, now it's settled in. He's figured it out. I think, it's really played well for him to have so much freedom and so much of the leash extended to do his things that, this has been really, great stuff for him. Yeah, a really special player. And I think you're absolutely right. I think his emergence now lets the Jazz say, all right, you know what, we don't necessarily need to go get a guard right now. They'll need to get another one at some point, but all right now we feel pretty good about that guy, and that's why we can invest our assets into beefing up our front court a little bit.
Keith Smith, kind enough to join us, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Give me your hierarchy of your top four in the West. I mean, obviously Oklahoma City 1. I would assume you would go Denver 2. What are you looking at with San Antonio and Houston with, in those spots 2, 3, and 4?
Yeah, it's really, for me, it's almost kind of a top 3 with the Thunder, Spurs, and Nuggets. I know the Rockets are right there record-wise, so are the Lakers, the Timberwolves, Suns aren't far off, but I just have more faith. The Nuggets, I'm going to trust in the system and in the stars. The Thunder have been there. And then San Antonio, I'm very curious. In the NBA, my entire life following this and understanding this game has been, you get to the playoffs and you kind of take your lumps in a year, and then you come back the next time around. So we'll see with the Spurs. Is that where we're at, or are they going to be ready to really challenge and make a run at it? Houston, I like their team, but you see problems that they have offensively at times when their shots aren't going in, and now without Steven Adams will go. The Lakers don't play any defense, so I'm not really sure what to do with them. And then the Timberwolves can't put it together for more than a couple games at a time. There's times that I'm like, all right, they're finally there. I'm ready. Let's talk about them as potential, contenders in the West. And then the next thing you know, they lose a couple games that are real head scratchers. So they're a little bit of a weird team. But yeah, give me the Thunder, Nuggets, and Spurs, and you're probably that. I'm going to pick out of that group to emerge from the conference.
All right, finally, before we let you go, back to this tanking thing. Obviously, Adam Silver's got the All-Star game coming up here. He's going to have to address the media at the All-Star game. He's going to get peppered with questions about this, and there's probably going to want people that have answers or, a response or a plan going forward. I don't know if there is a plan. Is there any way that they can walk themselves back from this and change the dynamics of the draft where they can make it, make teams avoid going down this path?
Yeah, not right now, obviously, right? This year is going to be what it's going to be. You can't really change the rules midstream, but I think he openly said, yeah, the competition committee is going to sit down. There was already reports that they're going to talk. I believe their next meetings are in March, so they're going to sit down and start really getting into some of this stuff, and we'll see. I think it starts with let's get rid of the protected picks that aren't top four or aren't lottery protected. That would go at least somewhat towards the way. Some of these other things that people are presenting, they all seem a little too exotic to me. I don't love the idea of, it only will matter, on March 1st, we'll start, counting wins. Well, then teams are just going to, lose before that. So that's always kind of a weird thing. I'm not entirely sure, what that would do here. So I think it's really in a spot where I also have to really question how big of a deal is this? Because it feels like one of those things where every year or two we get to about midseason and everybody's kind of like, you know what, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Trade deadline's fast. You know what stinks? Tanking. Let's get all riled up about it and get all mad when this has gone on, for almost my entire lifetime following the league. It's been something where I just don't know that it's there, but they're certainly going to do some things to try to fix it. And I just hope they don't go too overboard. And if they do really get exotic, please really consider what the unintended consequences will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Keith, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, and look forward to catching up with you again here soon.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me.
There he is, Keith Smith, Spotrac front office show, breaking down the NBA.